Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're going to have a 1v1 on Semoskiy Winter, as you are well aware. Our heroes today are going to be LordPixie, playing for the Germans, and his opponent today is going to be Warfingers, playing for the Soviets of the Red Army. So interesting thing, tier 1 going down right away, but before we do or hit into any of that, we want to know a little bit more about our players, right? I mean, this is from the Sunday Night Fight Season 5 tournament, round of 128, although I suppose I should clarify at this point that this is from week 1, because the week 3 or round 2 qualifier is going down in 4 days from the time that I'm casting this. Well, actually no, it's the sign-ups. You know, it's going to be obviously in the weekend, but... regardless, enough rambling. Let's head into the players themselves. So we have Warfingers and LordPixie. The highest ranking of these two players is going to be LordPixie. LordPixie is currently ranked, once again, in the, like I said before, rather interesting scenarios, is that he's ranked lower on his Soviets, which is 850 range, and his Germans are in the 900 range. So, again, interesting. But, well, like I said, most players feel comfortable at some point with some faction, so they just simply choose to play with that one. Now, continuing on that, we have the seeding for these two players, and that was 51 for LordPixie and 78 for Warfingers. So yeah. Anyways, enough of that. We are now back into the game, and we said that the let's take that off. There we go. Sorry. The players, I was saying that Warfingers did something interesting that you don't see a lot, but it's not unusual by any means. This is getting tier 1. So, interesting choice from him getting tier 1, especially because he didn't really get anything from tier 1. So, I mean, yeah. So Warfingers opened tier 1 and has not built anything from it. He is getting himself 3 conscripts. Might even see Molotovs after that, like you would expect. But yeah, he already has tier 1, so it's quite interesting. But we'll see if that comes into play later on, or he just wanted to, you know, have that available to him. So anyways, for LordPixie's side, he did what you would expect a German player to do, build tier 1 and get himself some Grenadiers. He got himself an MG42 as his 3rd unit, and then got himself a 3rd Grenadier squad after that. No engagement so far. We have LordPixie capturing the sides, putting units in houses, like Grenadiers up here, Pioneers up there. And we now have our first engagement, and that is conscripts and the MG42 engaging in the center. The MG42 sets itself up in a nice wide arc there, shoots them on the side of its arc, and will get them pinned down. Down goes one of those conscripts, and they are trying to crawl out of the way, but they'll just end up getting pinned and forced off the field. There we go. Molotov does go down and goes down in the south. The Grins are forced to evacuate that house. Still at 3 men though, and they are facing against a 4-man left conscript squad, which means those Grins will win that fight quite easily. Conscripts start to back off and are forced to retreat because, well, Grins are Grins, and Grins always win. Now, center map, MG42 jumps into the church, securing the center pretty much entirely for now. And the conscripts for Warfingers start moving a little bit to the left, supported by combat engineers. Tier 1 still not being utilized for anything. Conscripts back here, getting reinforced. So, man, I'm quite interested. I mean, he is getting kind of close to be able to get a sniper. Maybe he wanted to get the sniper rather fast. I don't know. It's an interesting choice, though, building it off the bat and not getting anything up from it. I mean, you don't see that every day. So anyways, Grens for LordPixie over here is just capturing some territory. We see conscripts pushing up and are going to run into those Grens. The Grens will continue to shoot. Conscripts will move on forward, take some more losses. LMG popping on those Grens, doing a lot of damage. Molotov will go down by the conscripts. The Molotov does get cancelled at the last minute. Very nice move there by LordPixie, but the Grens are just simply mauling them with that LMG. Molotov does finally go down to those conscripts, but the Grens just simply walk out of the way, and they are fine. So LordPixie sitting very comfortably right now. And now we finally see something from Tier 1 for Warfinger. He is getting himself an M3 Scout Car. M3 Scout Car now on the field. Does he have anything to garrison on it? Well, he does have a Combat Engineer, which does not have flamethrowers just yet. But if he pops those, that would be, you know, the usual thing you would expect. Conscript Squad I guess it's okay. I mean, it's just more added volume of fire, but not an impressive amount. But, you know, still would work. Rifle nade going down by the grants of LordPixie. He got himself that battle phase, Escalate battle phase 1. He was able to do that. And we see tier 2 already down for LordPixie. You can see it there back at base. It's just getting built. So the scout car for Warfingers is still back at base. Hasn't actually been utilized. Not exactly sure what he's waiting. And he is now up to 550 manpower. So a little bit of a float there. You don't want to be doing that early in the game. And he decides to spend it in just some more conscripts. Actually, no. That's a penal battalion. Ooh, interesting. So maybe he's trying to go for a penal battalion in the scout car. I mean, it's an okay thing. Penal battalion is simply just going to increase the amount of DPS that it's going to output. Obviously, you want the flamethrower in there to be able to flank stuff and decrew and kill very quickly. But yeah, I mean, I suppose overall they are going to do more damage than a combat engineer with flamethrower. But I'm not entirely sure waiting all that time is, you know, the best thing. I mean, the scout car has been on the field at least a minute now. I mean, probably 2, and hasn't really done much. We see Scout Car getting produced for LordPixie out of his tier 2 as the first unit. That Scout Car is going to be quite excellent. He hasn't actually seen the M3 on the field, but he's going to be very happy to find about it, to know about it, I mean, because, well, that means that he's going to kill it with his own Scout Car, getting an upgrade. The upgrade. Grenadiers and conscripts engaging outside the base of Warfinger. Warfinger pushing them away. The Grenadiers decide to retreat, not wanting to risk, you know, getting killed. And the combat engineers over here are near the scout car, probably getting themselves a flamethrower upgrade. Grenadiers on the right-hand side now actually finally notice that there is a scout car on the field, so they should be able to react appropriately. And LordPixie got himself the guard mortar coordination tactics and called himself a 120mm mortar on the field. So, not a bad choice. He's also going to be able to get guard rifle and deal with this scout car and potential half-track. But this scout car is boned. It already gets fausted by the Grens, and the scout car is right on top of it. The combat engineers do jump out of it, abandoning the car and leaving it to its own doom. Scout car trying to fire as much as it can against the German scout car, but, you know, it's unable to really do much damage. The gunner actually gets killed. Yeah, look at him. Actually, he's more shocked. He's like, oh no, my gun. And there he goes. So, easy victory there for LordPixie. Warfingers initial tier 1 not paying off at this point. We do have the penal battalions. Penal battalions are in the center. Do not have a flamethrower upgraded on them just yet. Flamethrower did pop on the combat engineers, but the combat engineers are a little bit too late on the party for that, but whatever. And LordPixie got himself a Panzer Grenadier squad, so yeah. Unit-wise, it is a little bit evened. I mean, there's an MG42 on the field for Warfingers, but LordPixie, but Warfinger has himself a 120mm mortar that can easily dislodge it. We have 3 guns against 3 conscripts. I mean, the conscripts are on the losing end of those fights, but you know, they should be able to hold their own for a little while until they, you know, get killed. And the Panzer Grenadiers, I guess, against the Penal Battalion, but the Panzer Grenadiers are going to win against everything right now. So, pretty strong position here for LordPixie, especially since he has that scout car unopposed on the field right now. MG42 set up on the ice, taking some shots at those Penal Battalions. Penal Battalions getting suppressed by the MG42. Trying to crawl out of the range, but the other guy actually starts crawling in its direction. Conscripts move forward, and the Penal Battalion managed to crawl out of the sight of the MG42. Scout car moves forward, started doing some damage on the Penal Battalion. Penal Battalion continues to shoot. Has actually done a little bit of damage to these guys, but with the... Where are the Panzer Grenadiers? Panzer Grenadiers went north. All the way north. Interesting choice for LordPixie. I mean, he got his strongest combat unit on the game right now for him, and he sends it to camp. Don't know what I think about that. But Warfingers, interestingly enough, going for double 120mm mortar. Interesting choice, considering that he saw the scout car and he has the option to get guards. Guards would be a very, very strong choice to be able to deal with that scout car. Both the buttoning and the PTRS do a lot of damage, and 18-8 are also a possibility, but, well, like I said, different choices for different people, I suppose. Conscripts over here on the right-hand side trying to move up and get a maybe Molotov off on the MG42, but They only end up getting pinned down and getting slaughtered on the retreat by both the MG42 and the scout car. They are left at 2 men, however, so they will make it out alive, but they are fine for the moment. North, Panzer Grenadiers just capturing territory easily. We have a fuel cache going down, and escalate the battle phase 3, getting called in. For Warfingers, we have no additional tech besides his initial rush to tier 1 and then not getting any units out of it. You know, the usual strategies you expect. And the Penal Battalion getting mauled by the Grens, forced to retreat, and off they go. Nasty shot there by the 120, but it doesn't actually hit anything. And center of map, we have the MG42 popping back into its church. Praise be God. And the Grenadiers are just pushing forward. Up north, Combat Engineers getting shooed away by Panzer Grenadiers. And we have mortars spread out across the river. Potential to cover a lot of territory and double bombard, you know, the center point. So, not a bad setup right there. Still, Warfingers in a very difficult situation right now because he doesn't really have much on the field, and LordPixie is going to be quickly teching to tier 3, if I'm not mistaken. No, actually straight to tier 4. Yeah, sorry, he actually got his battle phase 3, so tier 4 coming now for LordPixie, so we can probably expect Panthers. A Broombar would be a nice choice too. It's going to do a lot of damage to all these infantry, but I would probably put my bets on a Panther. Right-hand side, conscripts and grenadiers duking it out, or well, more likely the conscripts getting mauled by the grenadiers, taking a rifle to the phase, down to 2 men on the retreat. The scout car is moving around here, but it gets caught a little bit in the heavy snow and will not be able to catch those conscripts on the retreat. So, lucky break there for that conscript squad. However, the mortar is a little bit exposed there. The scout car can't just simply walk up to it and start shooting it, forcing it to retreat or get killed. And yeah, the scout car is right on top of that 120mm mortar and starts shooting them. Down goes one guy, and there is nothing nearby to support it. There is a penal battalion rushing down, but penal battalions do not have 18-8s, and I would expect or hope that Warfingers has 18-8s. Warfingers now finally going for some tech, and that is tier 4, so he should be able to get himself probably SU-85s, is what I'm thinking he's going for, but he doesn't have the fuel, anywhere near the fuel to actually get one just yet. But, well, at least he has tier 4, right? So that means he can eventually get one. Ooh, nice bundle lane on the conscripts! Oh, look at that damage go down to 1 man and gets shot in the face by the Stormgiver rifles. So nice pickup there for LordPixie, puts him even more ahead than he currently is. And we do see the Panther being produced by LordPixie, so that Panther will be able to hit the field like a sledgehammer. It isn't excellent against, you know, infantry, but you know, it can help out a little bit. Conscripts push on forward, get an 18-8 off on the scout car. Scout car reaches bed 2, which means it reduces the damage that it takes, so the conscripts are not going to be able to finish it off. Very low in health, but with the support of Grants and the penal battalion getting suppressed, the conscripts are going to lose this fight. 3-on-3, it's always going to be in favor of the Grants. And the scout car just simply backs off with a damage engine and will probably get repaired, and it's going to get relieved by a Panther. So yeah, I mean, LordPixie dominating, not really in any problem. He got himself the Spearhead Doctrine, so he can also get himself a Tiger later on if he wanted to. He's pretty far away from it right now in the command points, but you know, it's an option later on down the line. And the Panther is going straight into the center of the map. It's going to run into those conscripts. The conscripts are surprised, I guess, but not in any immediate danger, I guess you could say. And the conscripts push forward, will throw an 18-8 at that Panther, but it gets deflected off the front armor and only does a little bit of damage. And away goes the conscripts. No AT guns on the field for for Warfingers, so that means LordPixie has full access to his base. Guards getting called onto the field, so that will at least give him the option to shoot with the PTRS rifles and potentially butt. But I don't think these guys actually have a DP light machine gun already. And the scout car does take some shots by the PTRS rifles. Notice the damage going down and decides to move away. 120mm mortar does get battered down to 3 men, forced to retreat and probably reinforce. So the guard rifles and combat engineers pushing into the field. We have mines being laid down there. Yeah, I think mines have been hidden over there, but not a lot. So the scout cars going straight for those combat engineers. The guard rifles are moving into the center of the map, so the combat engineers are going to be harassed and killed by the scout car. They're going to have to retreat. Flamethrower going off, not actually going to do a lot of damage to that scout car. And they have to retreat or they're going to die. I think they're going to die. I don't think they're going to make it out alive. Down to one man, and there goes his flamethrower. Center map. Guards getting pushed away for Warfingers. So again, LordPixie dominating pretty much. Not really much of a match here. Mortar half-track on the field as well for LordPixie, adding some indirect fire there. And he's currently triple capping Warfingers. He himself 466 points. Warfingers down to 230. Triple capped. It'll take down very, very quickly. 18-8 going down on the Scout Car veteran C2, meaning that it'll take a lot of damage before it dies, and the conscript squad gets executed by a rifle aim from that grenadier, and down it goes. Penal Battalion down to 2 men, facing away against 3-man Panther Grenadier squad, gets annihilated, and Warfingers once again has pretty much nothing on the field. So yeah, pretty one-sided match here. LordPixie is dominating, to say the least. The 120mm mortar is not actually paying off for Warfingers. Let's see if they actually gotten any kills. We have 3 kills on one of them and 2 kills on the other. So 5 kills combined between them. Let's say those 5 kills were Panzer Grenadiers, you know, in a perfect world. That means 45 manpower for that. So that is what? 125? I think so. Enemy fire! But yeah, that's not actually going to do much. 225 manpower means that the mortar hasn't actually even paid for itself even once. So least of all, you know, twice. So the mortar actually taking some shelling the Panther. The Panther shelling the mortar. Trading shots. The mortar actually landing shots right on top of it and not managing to damage that armor. So the mortar just packs up and is going to move up. The guard rifles do set up and take some shots at it, so those PTRS rifles do manage to penetrate and do some small amount of damage, very negligible, so the Panther just simply backs away after getting a little bit tickled there. So Warfingers still not enough fuel to get himself the Su-85 that he's probably waiting for. Very close to it, so he'll be able to get it probably in the next minute and, you know, start producing it. And then after a while, maybe push, but LordPixie is a dominant position right now. He can get himself his second Panther if he wanted to, which means that the Su-85 will stand no chance against both Panthers, unless LordPixie, you know, doesn't handle them properly. Nice nade going down by those guards, forces away the Pyos, but, well, it's just Pyos, and there's Grenadiers behind them at veteran C2. So there's actually 2 guard squads on the field for Warfingers. Where, I don't know. Well, they're actually back at base, so he doesn't have the manpower? No, he does have the manpower. I think he's just waiting for that one more point of fuel to produce that Su-85. Yeah, there you go. So he was saving the manpower so he could produce it as soon as possible. Wait, as fast as possible. AFAP. And the guards do get reinforced. Conscripts probably as well, but they have to wait around because the manpower, you know, has to trickle in a little bit. So no more Panthers on the field for LordPixie, so, I mean, Warfingers stands a little bit of a shot, you know, if he can button and get an 18-8 off on that Panther. Su-85 could potentially take it out, but considering the amount of fuel that LordPixie has, he can produce anything he wants, and he actually decides to spend it before the Su-85 pops on a Brumbar, if I'm not mistaken. Let's take a look over here. Well, we could actually do the menu, but whatever. Yeah, that's a Brumbar, so excellent. I hoped we were going to see a Brumbar, so yeah. So Su-85 hitting the field for Warfingers. Let's see if this can get him back into the game. So far, he is out of it. He is down to 66 points, still triple capped, and is very low on infantry. He only has 3 infantry squads to combat the, well, 4, I suppose, from LordPixie, but LordPixie has a lot of support there. So the MG42 getting those conscripts down, and the mortar getting harassed and taken out by the scout car. Scout Car clears it out, actually takes shots from the base sector MGs like a boss. Su-85 moves up, and I think, yeah, it did take a shot at that Panther. Looks like did a little bit of damage, but not a lot. The Molotov does go down on the MG42, forcing it to pack up and move. More mortar rounds landing, but gun is already away. And the Su-85 does, well, you know, help a little bit, but he is down to 33 points, and unless he goes capping right now, game is over. We do see Garen squads littering the victory point. This is a Vet 2 squad and a Veteran Scene 1. Ooh, very nasty shot there by the mortar, but unfortunately Warfingers was also Molotoving there, meaning that he can't Molotov the other squad, forcing it away, and he has not been able to get near the point. 2 men left on his conscript squad. The guard rifles are going to the north, so they'll be able to stop that one eventually, but down to 12 points. I don't think there's any coming back from this. No way he can stop it. Su-85 in the center, gonna get shot by that broom bar. Nasty shot by the broom bar. Actually does some damage, although the Panther was shot as well, so that was probably more damage than the Panther. And the Su-85 does shoot at the broom bar, doing some damage, but it doesn't matter. Down to 0 points, and Warfinger is eliminated. So, yeah, not the most exciting game. It was a little bit lopsided. LordPixie did dominate pretty much the map here. But yeah, like I said, that is the nature of tournaments, the early rounds. Sometimes you just get some stomps. But again, I mean, well played for LordPixie. And interesting choices for Warfingers, getting his tier 1 and not building anything from it, you know, from the start. I mean, that's a little bit questionable to begin with, but whatever. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the cast. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. Before I go, I am well, by the time this video comes up, it'll probably be already up. I'm going to do a vlog stating the issues that I had on the weekend, which makes it so that I'm probably not going to be able to cast anybody else's game once I finish this round of 128. But yeah, regardless, that's going to come out on the blog. So ignore that. Just I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.